Hi, hope you're having a good day where you are. I'm going to be looking at some more exercises in the slurring and legato playing section of the Arban book. In my edition, this is page 44 and 45, and numbers 24, 25, and 26. Now, this book is progressive, and it progresses pretty quickly. So we have to be patient and realize that I might need to work on a particular exercise or group of exercises that are aiming at a particular skill. I might need to work on it for weeks, months, or years. And most players who have been playing professionally keep coming back to these exercises as a reference to basically find out where are my skills with this particular aspect of trumpet playing. Where are they? That can be anything from multiple tonguing to the kind of lip slurs and lip trills that we're working on today. So I'm going to play a little bit of 24. I'm not going to play all the way through because I think it's kind of annoying to listen to. But just listen to a little bit of it, and I'll point out some things that you want to notice when you're doing this and that I think will be helpful to improve your playing. That's the whole point. I hope we're getting some results from putting into practice some of these things that I'm sharing with you, because that's my hope. Okay, here we go. So it starts off with an alternate fingering, and that's a big part of this exercise. Ooh, got goofed up there. I don't see too well. So I'm looking at, what is it? Oh yeah, it's 2 and 3. You don't normally use 2 and 3 on an F sharp on top of the staff. But this opens the door to all kinds of possibilities. And if you look at some material from some advanced teachers, like Claude Gordon, he uses alternate fingerings a lot. And it's a fun thing to play around with, but it's a whole area of exploration. Now, granted, a trumpet player doesn't have as many alternate fingerings available to them as a horn player does, but they have an innumerable amount of fingerings for a variety of reasons that I will not get into right now. But we just need to pay attention to ours. And what's the main thing you notice? Well, when you use an alternate fingering, the sound is different. The note is a different pitch. And so you can use that to your advantage as a strengthening exercise, both in terms of psychologically, in terms of willpower, and in terms of the mechanism to produce the sound and remain stable and in control. When you're playing an alternate fingering and trying to play it in tune, you're kind of pushing against the edges of the note. You're not necessarily playing it where it actually belongs. So if you can play this exercise in tune, and don't torture yourself with a tuner, use it as a reference, but listen for the pitch, but also for the timbre. Now, in an alternate fingering, the timbre is automatically going to be different, and you can use that to your advantage. The basic rule is simple with alternate fingerings. When you're planning on using an alternate fingering, consider these aspects. One is, does the note respond more easily or with greater difficulty? Is the note better in tune? Is the sound appropriate for what I'm going to use it for? How stable is the note? So those are basics. Those are basic things. So the sound quality may not be appropriate. It's always a compromise. Here, I want you to try and use it. If you play the G. If you do that slowly, see how I'm playing around with it? Now, of course, I'm pushing myself a little bit. I should slow this down and really listen closely. And that's what I'm going to recommend for you to do when you practice this. Now there's another aspect of this which is really, really useful. And in this section, up to this point, Mr. Arban has been directing you to do slurs. And now you're mixing slurring and tonguing. And this is incredibly valuable to do. It's a necessary thing to do. You should be doing it every day in your work. Going back and forth between slurring and tonguing. We need to become extremely agile with this. Now the reason is, the tongue is, and I hope some of you will understand this, the tongue is doing more than one job. One job is to be a little valve that starts and stops the air. So that we call articulation. The other job is, as Claude Gordon said, to bring the air to the lips, which means to create an air stream. That's not an air stream. The tongue creates an air stream. That is the key to great trumpet technique. And people like Mr. Vizzuti and many others can demonstrate that they have mastery over this ability to focus the air stream. Now, that's not the whole picture. You still have the reed and all the support structure, the ligature that holds the reed in place. These are really important things. And you have the basic, wind machine that is a huge part of it. And there are many other elements, simple elements that we often don't think about, which is basic posture, and which allows the ear to come in and out of the body in a very natural way. You can't be thinking about all these things at once, but you can diligently and strictly train yourself to improve all these qualities, and then playing is a whole lot more fun. So this focusing the air thing is the critical part of the picture. And I try to explain it. Many teachers over the years have tried to explain it, but it's something you have to feel for yourself. I'm going to give you just a quick little odd exercise for you to try to get a feeling of how the pharyngeal muscles and the tongue work to focus the air. And it's a little bit of a messy exercise, so do it outside, I suggest. Take a glass of water, fill your mouth with water, but don't swallow, and then just make a stream of water by squeezing the air out from between your lips. And when you do that, you're going to activate these muscles that are doing this kind of control. Now, of course, it's much more precise, consistent, very small, very delicate, very gentle when we do it on the trumpet. But at least that water, that spouting exercise will help you to get a feeling of what's going on. And this is also directly related to kind of a high-value technique, which is circular breathing. When you see great soloists like Nikaryakov playing endlessly, seemingly without breathing, they're breathing. They can be breathing in and out without disturbing the flow of the air, because they're very quickly and with extremely high level of skill maintaining the flow of the air, the volume of the airflow and the pressure and the focus of the airflow by using these internal muscles that no one can see. And that's something they've developed through years and years of diligent practice. So don't expect that you're going to get it in a day, but if you're very gifted, who knows? Just explore and see what you can learn. Okay, so we're going back and forth between tonguing and slurring. So when I'm tonguing, on this exercise, I'm staying on the same note. And when I'm tonguing, I'm also focusing the airstream. And I'm not doing it very well. Wow, when I use the alternate fingering, that's harder. And that's one thing that helps you to strengthen your skill and the necessary musculature, train the muscles, to do this very delicate, precise job. Okay, so paying attention to the rhythm is really important on this. And I'm going to play it again, and as I go back and forth between ta 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 ta, I have the eighths and the triplets, and I'm also articulating in specific places. So just follow the directions that are in the music. Each group of triplets is articulated at the beginning. So that gives you a very specific target that you're aiming at. Now, when I do it faster, it's fun. I like to do it fast. It's fun to play with. But to have the patience to do it well, and if you can do it well and smoothly, that smoothness and that skill in maintaining the sound is going to translate to faster. It's just a matter of time. You can do this. You just need to concentrate on it. Now, I'm going to take a quick look at number 25, which is the same idea, exactly the same principles I've just outlined, but a different pattern. So play with that one. You can make up your own patterns, by the way. It's a really good idea, and I'll probably mention this again because it's a really good idea, at least I think so. What you want to do is when you're playing a solo, when you're playing an etude, when you're playing, working on a piece of music for a band or orchestra, brass quintet, whatever group you're playing with, some of that music has physical technical challenges in it. If you can discern for yourself, oh yeah, this is what I'm having trouble with, this is what I'd like to be able to do better, you can make up your own exercises. And I'm pretty convinced that that's what all great players do. They find out where the issues are, and they break it down to make simple exercises like these. These are kind of moderately simple, that are related directly to the music that they're playing. So let's go on. I want to finish up today by looking at number 26. Now the difference here is, it's the same principles, but now we're doing a quick movement. Let's see, he has 124 for the tempo on this. And if you leave out the grace notes, which makes it much simpler, and just play the notes with the alternate fingerings, I think you're going to find this a very helpful exercise. Play with the alternate fingerings first, see what you can learn. Then when you've got that, now comes the tricky part. You're going to do a quick movement. And the first way I'm going to play this is with the grace notes on the beat. Then I'm going to put the grace notes off the beat. In other words, I'm going to put the eighth note on the beat and the grace note preceding the beat. And in music, especially, cornet literature, you're going to find these grace notes used in all kinds of different ways. In the Baroque literature, a lot of times the trill will start on the upper neighbor on the beat. In different styles, it'll be different. So you need to get used to placing things rhythmically. So that the first time I did it, da-dia, 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 I think you heard that. And then now I'm going to go da-dia, da-dia, da-dia. Try this. And you also may hear that I've decided how I'm going to play the eighth note. So I'm playing an eighth note with a little bit of a taper to it. Da-ya, 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 da-ya. But I'm very aware rhythmically of where I'm ending the note. I'm not controlling it, I'm releasing it, but I'm very aware of where it is in the time. So this placement of the grace notes, either on the beat or preceding the beat, can be really helpful for you to get this rhythmic feel. So all these three exercises, number 24, 5, and 6 in this section of the book, are challenging, and it could be a good idea to incorporate them into your practice by, let's say you play one on one day, and the next day you play another one, and the third day you play the final one, and then you rotate them. This is a practice strategy, or tactic rather, that you can use to address not playing the same thing the same way all the time. Keep it fresh, and that's what keeps it interesting. Okay, I hope this feeds your mind a little bit and gives you some new things to try possibly. Or, for me, very old things to go back and say, how well am I actually doing that? So even very advanced players can benefit from doing this work and actually, in my observation, do this work on a regular basis. That's why they maintain such high level of skill. So keep up the good work, and I'll catch you later on. Have a great day. Bye-bye.